Upper Klamath Lake, or more commonly known as just simply Klamath Lake, is located in southern Oregon, USA.
Our lake is combined with Agency Lake, which makes the lake approximately 32 miles long and the widest point 8 or 9 miles wide. It's got 2 islands in it, and it's just a big, beautiful lake.
Klamath Lake is the largest remnant of Lake Modoc, a giant pluvial lake that existed in the region about 10,000 years ago.
Klamath Lake is the largest body of water in the state of Oregon. It's a shallow lake on an average of about 40 feet deep.
Today, Klamath Lake's primary source of fresh water is from the Williamson River, which rises from a large spring on the north side of the Cascade Mountain Range. It provides over half the inflow for fresh water to the Klamath Lake. The Woods River in Crater Lake's watershed provides fresh water that has been filtered with rich volcanic nutrients to Klamath Lake.
Because Klamath Lake is a freshwater lake, it has 3 main inlets from 3 major riverbeds and aquifers migrating fresh filtered water from Crater Lake.
In a spectacular event that happened almost 8,000 years ago, Mount Mazama erupted to form what is now known as Crater Lake. The eruption propelled large quantities of ash and volcanic pumice skyward, so much that it covered most of the northwestern United States and Canada. However, a huge amount of this incredible mineral-rich material fell on the local mountain ranges and was eventually washed into the Klamath Basin, adding a rich layer of nutrients to the sediment of Klamath Lake.
A lot of tests and studies have been done regarding natural filtration through volcanic rock, and the bed of Klamath Lake happens to have about 40 to 42 feet of volcanic sediment.
Every year in the late spring, a blue-green algae, Aphanenomyzon floss aquae, or AFA for short, grows wildly through Upper Klamath Lake, marking its presence with fluorescent blooms. AFA and the process Cerule uses has been documented, clinically proven, and patented. Dr. Geet Jensen, PhD, Chief Scientist of Cerule's Scientific Advisory Board, is the inventor of Cerule's flagship product, Stem Enhance Ultra, and AFA Champion. Dr. Jensen continues to develop amazing AFA-based products from her laboratory in Klamath Falls.
AFA is a type of blue-green algae, and blue-green algae are microscopic organisms that have unique ways of harvesting sunlight and make energy that no other plant can do. Blue-green algae are microscopic, but they grow in colonies that are big enough to be visible by the naked eye. And when we see AFA in the lake, it looks like small, fine leaves of freshly cut grass.
Blue-green algae is one of the world's most primitive life forms and has been used for food and medicinal purposes for thousands of years. Klamath Lake provides the ideal environmental conditions for these superorganisms to flourish.
AFA, that is the reason why we're in Klamath Falls. There's very few places in the world that AFA actually grows. Most of those places are completely inaccessible. Klamath Lake is one of the few places in the entire universe where you can do it. And so that's why we're here. It is a very unique blue-green algae with special compounds that you don't find in other blue-green algae. And that's what we set out to clinically prove, is that there's certain compounds that are only found in AFA that have a wonderful response to your body's stem cell production.
Through scientific research, AFA has been proven to support the natural release of adult stem cells from bone marrow. And by releasing adult stem cells in the body, these stem cells are now available to participate in the body's natural process of tissue repair and tissue renewal.
AFA, like other blue-green algae, has anti-inflammatory properties. And unique to AFA, it also has effect on stem cells, which means it supports our natural processes of repair and rejuvenation. Stem cells are cells that naturally traffic in the body to look for organs and tissues that need repair. This is part of the natural daily upkeep in the body. If there's an injury, the whole process accelerates to repair the injury. Some types of stem cells have additional functions. Some types of stem cells are more than just building blocks that's going to fill in a crack. They are actually communicating with other cells to help them behave properly, for example by reducing chronic inflammation. This then in turn come around and help the stem cells repair because the stem cells get confused in chronic inflammatory conditions.
More than 20 years ago, Howard Newman saw the potential of AFA that many others couldn't, and how incredible this algae is as a raw material. He built a company that has become the undisputed authority in harnessing the power of AFA. And ever since he started, his company, Cerule, has impacted the lives of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide.
Almost 20 years ago now, I got a phone call from my dad, Howard. He called me and said, "Hey, I've got a business thing I want to talk to you about, and could you fly up to Southern Oregon and meet me there, and I want to show you kind of what I'm thinking about doing." And so I came up and we started talking. He showed me the lake and talked to me about the algae, and that he believed that there were compounds inside the algae that could be linked to certain bioactivity, things that they saw happening in people's body that were really positive and good. And he wanted to identify what they were and then develop ways to extract those compounds and concentrate them and create products. And I went, let's do it. So I invested in the company, and the rest is history. We're able to identify compounds, extract them, prove it out scientifically from clinical studies that we've done, and create extraordinary products that now we ship to all around the world. So for 20 years, we've been able to live out that dream. Sadly, 4.5 years ago, we lost Howard, but we've continued on in the mission that he set out as his goal, and what he lived out and proved out with this wonderful product that we have.
Howard's vision for this wonderful product has led to state-of-the-art harvesting and extraction processes to produce pure and potent AFA extract for daily consumption.
I think what makes us unique is we hold on to our algae's in our hands from A all the way to B. I mean, we harvest it, we filter it, we dry it, we test it, we grind it, we package, we ship. We are probably the only company that has the ability to dry their own algae. We do stand out above the rest. We're able to control the quality of product that comes out of Kino by testing, things like that, managing the drying techniques from the beginning. So we always know exactly what our product's been through, where it's going, what we've done to it, everything.
The challenges of a wild plant harvest have led to many advancements in the process of harvesting AFA due to the different types of conditions both the plant and the environment can create. These advancements include the in-house design, manufacturing, and patents on multiple types of harvesting technologies to enable harvesting in a wide range of conditions.
The string harvesters is an invention that Howard Newman came up with while fishing on the banks of Klammat Lake, and noticed that his fishing line would attract AFA algae and the microcystis would fall off. So he took that idea to some of our R&D folks, and they invented the string harvesters, where that harvester has the ability on heavy microcystis days to harvest when nobody else can. So the skimmer is when we have days when the lake is dead flat, we can take the skimmer out and harvest, which yields quite a bit more, about 10 times more than the string harvesters.
The Tulena is our pre-processing center located on the lake. This barge acts as our base of operations for the harvesters, transport boats, mini transport boats, and scout boats. As AFA is harvested, it is transferred to the barge, where the filtration and chilling process begins even before it leaves the lake.
As soon as we remove algae from the water, it wants to stop living. So we need to put it into a state of suspended animation. We immediately need to start the initial filtration process, filtering the algae, cleaning the algae, and then we immediately run it through a chiller system. So we immediately chill it to just above freezing, and then we store it on the Tulena, which is the name of the barge. And then from the storage tanks there, we have large transport boats that transport to a cove, then transport it to our Kino facility where it's flash frozen.
The heart of the processing operation is located in a small town called Kino. As product is received from the lake, it is then transported to Kino to be flash frozen, preserving the cell structure. It is then stored in our 25,000 square foot freezer until it's time to process the AFA into a final product.
Well, roughly the Kino freezer can hold a little over 1 million gallons. As we put totes in there, it takes us anywhere about 10 days to freeze them solid. Well, algae that we've seen over the years, around 50 degrees, it starts degrading. They chill it out on the lake and we get it into the freezers or processed right away, because at about 50 degrees you start seeing the degradation and the product actually starts turning brown.
After proprietary wet processing, which includes thawing, filtering, and reverse osmosis to refine the whole AFA to specific solids percentages, the 225-gallon totes of algae head to the dryers. Cerule has developed customized refractive window dryers that are built in-house specifically for drying AFA to produce an extract that is 100% natural and chemical-free.
Our dryer is different than others. There's all kinds of different methods of drying, but other than ours, all those other methods of drying, except for freeze drying, take extreme high temperatures. And what happens is you see a degradation of everything that's good for you in the algae. So with our dryers, we're able to dry that product, keep it going, and maintain all the vitamins and proteins and everything that's good for you in the algae. We dry our product strictly by evaporation. So we have an inlet that brings in fresh air, and then we have an outlet that takes out the moist air and blows it outside. Each dryer has 7 different tables, which have hot water, which is heated by steam, and we can set each table at a different temperature. And the belt runs across the top of that hot water, which starts extracting or evaporating what moisture is in the product. So we're able to gradually start dropping the temperatures and cooling the product right away before it comes off the belt. We have bags that actually catch the product as they come off the belts. When each bag reaches 10 kilos, we replace the bag. We tie it, tag it, and put it in a bin, getting ready to be shipped to Avalon.
At Avalon, we do all the finished product testing, all the testing of incoming harvest material, daily shipping checks on finished product going out to customers. Finished processing involves taking the material that comes from Kino, that comes off our belt as more of a coarse flake. We'll take that material, we'll grind it, we'll then also put it in our blender and blend typically around 1,000 kilos or so into one large homogeneous batch that we will then do our finished product testing on.
Detractors of the AFA products and the environment have been vocal, but largely without any scientific proof of their claims that AFA consumption is unsafe. Every harvest of AFA is thoroughly tested at every step of the process to ensure its safety and quality. And with patented and proprietary process, Cerule's AFA is not only safe, but the most pure and potent extract for daily consumption. With 20-plus years for scientific studies and clinical safety trials, AFA has been documented not only to be 100% safe to consume, but also as one of the greatest medical breakthroughs of our time.
There's always a yearly controversy about blue-green algae in our lakes. The algae we use for consumption is not the cause for concern.
The lake does have some other microorganisms that grow within the lake itself, but one of the ones that keeps coming up is something referred to as microcystis. We are the only people in the world that have patented technologies for naturally filtering microcystid. With that, you can be sure that while others aren't able to harvest on the lake, we're the only ones in the world that can because of our filtration process.
In Howard Newman's vision to deliver a product that is not only safe to consume, but also worthy to sell, Cerule goes beyond standard testing protocols to ensure every bottle of product has exceeded expectation and regulatory requirements.
Yeah, every step of the way we test the lake, not only for microcystin, but we also test it for heavy metals, toxins. There's a myriad of tests that our quality control folks, along with our science department, tests.
We grab samples at every step of the way. They pull a sample on the lake, we'll get the truck into Keno, we'll pull a sample off the truck. About halfway through the load, we'll pull another sample. And at the very end of the load, we pull a sample.
Those samples then come into us and we analyze them for microcystins. We also run heavy metals and other kinds of pathogen testing, but that's done through outside laboratories, and then we're reviewing those results as they come in. Yeah, our whole goal at Avalon is to basically make sure that we are producing a safe and efficacious product and people are getting the product that they expect to be getting time and time again. And that's why we test so much.
These seasoned professionals have, for over 20 years, dedicated their lives to the harvest and production of incredible, life-changing AFA products. Cerule products are, without question, backed by scientific proof and clinical trials. They hold many patents in both production and product. Everyone can be assured that Cerule products are developed with the sole goal of enhancing everyone's quality of life. In a world where we are consistently told that the only assistance for the repair of the human body is drug-related, Cerule challenges that theory. No other has the scientific proof nor demonstrates the due care and diligence at every stage of the process from harvest to finished product. Cerule's natural products are really making an incredible statement on the world stage. Everyone can benefit from these amazing products now and in the years to come. Cerule, building extraordinary lives.